friends, this is Bo, and welcome to my channel where I share my adventures of being a lucky man. Today I want to share one tip that I have used to develop and sustain what is affectionately known as happy wife, happy life over the past 27 years. I hope this video offers inspiration for you to give this a try and see if it sparks joy in your relationship as well. So what are we doing today? Chocolate covered strawberries. Now, yes, you could probably go and buy some at the store and make a big hit, but there's something about having the personal touch that you actually invested your own time, your own effort into making something for your special loved one. And so that's what I want to show you, my little tips and tricks on how to make chocolate covered strawberries at home. What I prefer is to start with white chocolate. You want to make sure that's a thin coat because this can go on fairly thick, and so depending on how warm you make the chocolate as far as the melting process, if it's super runny, it'll go on thinner. White chocolate is very temperamental, let's say, and so it's kind of tough to get it just right. My technique, there are probably some professional chefs that have this down a little bit better, but you know, we're not all professional chefs, are we? So this is where the real people are operating. So my recommendation is Nestle, they have their premier white chocolate, good stuff. And then I'm a dark chocolate kind of guy, and so I resorted to the final coat being the dark chocolate. And again, Nestle, Toll House, they make good chocolate. So, shall we begin? Here we go. And some of the utensils or tools that we'll need is go ahead and grab yourself some wax paper so that the chocolate will release nice and easy. I use this Tupperware tray, so I'll put the wax paper on that tray there where I'm going to put the strawberries when it's all done. And then over the years I've developed a technique where I might use two different pots, one smaller than the other, and do what's called a double boiler. But I've actually, since I kind of do this a lot, I've found a kit that is pretty nice. They nestle in together, so you would put a little bit of water into that pot and get it warm, and that'll actually heat up the chocolate in there very nicely. And then I just use a spoon. You can use wooden spoon. I've even seen silicone spatulas that work pretty well, but my technique has been just using a spoon. Okay, as with any produce, you want to make sure that you rinse it off pretty nice. So the first step is going to be just give them a nice rinse. You don't necessarily need to have any scrubbing to it or anything like that. So I like to give it a nice once over, let the water rinse over it, and then I'll shake that through, and then I'll dry them off with paper towels, and we'll see that next. Okay, so now I've got the strawberries nice and rinsed off. And now this step here is actually more critical than you would think. You want to make sure all these strawberries, as you're drying them, are as free of water as possible, because chocolate, especially the white chocolate, which is our first layer that we're going to put together, that is very sensitive to water touching it. It'll seize up or break is, I guess, the official culinary term. You don't want to have that break, otherwise it's just not going to be smooth and coat your strawberries very well. Okay, I've got them all dry, and there's nice array here, and there's actually one little extra. Actually, truth be told, there were two extra, and you know, it's okay to kind of sample it. And I took a nice bite out of that one, and as you can see, we got a nice, really fresh red color there through there, and oh, they are so delicious. Yeah, she's gonna love these. Okay, so as I noted before, you want to make sure that these are nice and dry and just kind of sit them out. And now I'm kind of prepped for my next step. Before we get to the process of melting the chocolate, I just want to do one more step of prep, and that is getting your wax paper out and making sure that you lay it on the tray of your choice. And so make sure that I get enough out that I can cover the tray as such, and then I'll just kind of push that down so I have an indent. The weight of the strawberries is going to be plenty for that. Okay, now that we got the strawberries rinsed off and dry, sitting on a paper towel here, now I'm ready to address the melting of the chocolate process. And so again, I've got the double broiler. You can see how it nests into this pot. I'm just going to go ahead and go to the sink and put just a little bit of water in the bottom of this. It doesn't need to be full. So as you can see, I just got a little bit of water in the bottom there, and I'm not going to crank this up. I'm on high. I'm going to go ahead and get the burner going, and on mine I've got medium, low, and high, and what I like to find is just a little bit below medium. So the D right here I've kind of got kind of memorized, just a fairly low heat, and I'm gonna put the water on that, and then I will go ahead and put this on there. And you also want to make sure that this is completely dry as well. Again, a single drop of water can wreak havoc on your chocolate, especially the white chocolate, which is going to be the first step. I like to just go ahead and put the whole bag in because I never know if I get a bunch of strawberries. I may have a pound like I did here today. It could be various sizes, different quantities, and I never like to guess off on how much chocolate is there. When you're short, it kind of makes it very difficult to continue the process. So I like to put the whole bag in. Here we go. Let's get all that chocolate goodness in there. Doesn't that look good? Now all I'm gonna do is not really fuss with this too much. I'll just make sure that I kind of mix it around a little bit, and I'm just gonna watch this for any kind of melting properties. It's gonna start melting, and I don't necessarily want this to come to a boil or anything like that. I just want to kind of get a nice melt going on them. Okay, I made one more prep move that I forgot to say. I have a trivet that's here that just kind of allows me to have a hot pad right here, so that when this is ready to go, I can put this over, and it's gonna provide a little angle so that the chocolate pools to one side. Kind of makes it a little bit deeper to get all the strawberries in there. So it's only been 1 or 2 minutes. Now just a quick stir around. That was my first stir. You can already start to see it's starting to get a little bit melty. That's exactly what you want to see. So I'll just say, while I'm doing this, this is just an effort that I've tried over the years in my wonderful marriage. It kind of happened upon the love language, what makes her happy, and I discovered that she likes it when I actually do things for her. So yes, I could go find the best shop in Houston, Texas, where I live, and find the best chocolate covered strawberries, and quite frankly, that'll be mostly around Valentine's Day. Well, today's not Valentine's Day technically, but I kind of treat it like it is. You know, I'll have Tuesday as a day of the week where I just want to show a little bit of special love, and so that's where this art of chocolate covered strawberries has developed in my life, my lucky man life, and I just wanted to share that with you while this is melting. So find what that love language is, and what is that thing that you can do special for your loved one that is you doing it, and not just going spending money on somebody else's work. And yes, that's thoughtful, but there's more to just something that's of substance. If you actually do something for your loved one, it has a higher rate of success, if you know what I mean. Look at that, that's looking pretty good. Yeah, okay, so I've taken it off the heat. It's not quite fully melted. You can see that I have maybe some air bubbles or little chunks, but that's okay. I don't need to keep it on there. I'm just going to keep stirring. The pot itself is still hot. I don't know if you can see any of the steam over there, but it got plenty of hot out there. And just do a mix, and oh yeah, that consistency is perfect. So now we're about ready. And what I like to do, and this is the reason I have the trivet right here, is I'll angle this pot up here. Hopefully you can see that okay, or I might adjust here in a second. But all I'm gonna do is just take this and angle it like this, and scrape the chocolate from the top and let it cool at the bottom. By the way, I don't know if you can tell, but this is my first YouTube video, so I got a pro tip to just start recording, and it's gonna be messy early on, so here we go. All right, so let's get going. First strawberry is gonna go in. I've got an extra paper towel here. I'm just gonna double make sure I don't have any water on that. As I mentioned several times, that little bit of water in the white chocolate is especially gonna seize it up. All right, so now I'm ready for the strawberry, and I'm not gonna go all the way up to the stem. I'll use my spoon here and just bring the pool of this nice melted white chocolate, and I'll leave a little bit of red at the top. Now, here is a key pro tip. You see how thick that white chocolate is on there? That's good, but it also gets hard once I put this in the fridge, and this can be a little bit too thick if your loved one has sensitive teeth or just can't bite through it too well. I like to thin it out a little bit. You can tap it like this, but just to go faster, I like to put it on the spoon, get a nice thin coating. What I'm doing is I'm thinking ahead, and I want to make a nice thin layer of the white chocolate that is going to be able to have a nice crunch but not break your teeth, if that makes sense. So I've got a nice coating. It doesn't have to be beautiful. Again, the dark chocolate is gonna bring the beauty to that, but I've got a nice coating of the white chocolate over the strawberry. And now you can see I've just got it on that wax paper as so, and I'm gonna continue and do the rest. The next step is I'm going to put these in the fridge, and then I'm going to do a little cleanup on the remaining white chocolate that I have left. Okay, so that was about 10 minutes in the fridge, and it's plenty hard now. It's hardened up pretty good, so we can do our next step, which is going to be the dark chocolate. Similar to the first step, this time we're going to do the dark chocolate. And so I washed out this pot, and again, the crucial step of making sure that this is completely dry. Water and chocolate just do not mix well, so I've gone ahead and gone the process of cleaning this thoroughly and getting it all nice and dry before the dark chocolate phase. Oh goodness, it's my favorite part here. So again, just keep it on that same medium to low heat. I like to let it take its time, watch it, and let it do its thing. Oh yeah, here we go. So on this one, it does melt pretty good, and I like to keep it stirring. Don't be tempted to just crank the heat on this. Just keep patient, keep it where it's at, tried and true, trust me, and just give it time. Let it do its thing. Oh, wish you guys could smell this. This dark chocolate is just something else for me. There we go. Now we're talking. This is getting going good. There probably are other techniques for melting chocolate, but for me, this is my favorite. It's me investing time into this, gives me extra time to put a little love into it. There may be some other techniques to get this done faster, but that's not what this is all about. Wow, look at that. Can you guys see that okay? Appreciate you guys being here with me. If you have any comments about what you're seeing, what you'd like to see different perspectives of, or any other steps that I may have not gone into depth on, put that in the comments below. I'd really like to hear from y'all. I'm not a chef, don't claim to be, it's just something I like to do, I love. All right, look at that. This is what we're talking about. Look at how good this is getting. There we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut the heat off, continue to kind of whip this so that we're getting all those things breaking down, and I'll take that off of it. And then the same process, I've got my trivet here with my hot pad, my heat pad, and so I'm going to just continue stirring until I get that consistency I want. And now I'm just gonna kind of stir it on the top, scrape it, and get that angle so it pulls down at the bottom for me for dipping of the strawberries. Okay, so now this process is gonna go a little bit fast, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you the first one. It's just a simple matter of peeling it off the wax paper. You see how beautiful that wax paper releases that chocolate. So it'll be the same for the dark. And so again, the tip here is we don't want this too thick. Think about taking a bite out of that. If it's a really thick, hard chocolate, it's not as pleasant or easy. It could even shatter and just fall off of the strawberry completely. So you wanna think about that step when you're putting this chocolate on. And so my preference is not to overcoat it. I like to leave a little line of the white chocolate, as you can see. And then with this, because this is the finish, I might do just a little light dab to kind of help the excess fall off. I don't want to mess up the kind of the mirror or that finish of the chocolate, but all I'm doing is just kind of letting it ooze off, and then I might have a little scrape there, and that's about good right there. And that was the last step. So just put that in the fridge and let it cool to get nice and crisp and ready to serve. So I hope this was helpful for you. My challenge to you is go try it. Valentine's Day doesn't have to be in February. It could be any day of the year. So treat your loved one as if Valentine's Day is tomorrow. So again, just a few helpful tips from this lucky man and his adventures in life to secure and sustain a happy wife, a happy life. So I hope you like this video. I would love to hear from you, so if you have any comments, please leave those for me to read, and I'll try to respond as best I can. And if you like what you see, give me a like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Okay, good morning, friends. So, time for delivery. Don't they just look good? So I'm gonna pick a few and make it delivered this morning for a breakfast treat. Let's see here. Let's go with this one. Pick out 3. Ooh, I think that very first one I did was probably the best one of the bunch.